So what I want to do today is we've been talking about personalities and what everyone is or is not, and we had some antisocial stuff up last time and any kind of related to that, and we also had some borderline topics up there and any related to that. So I thought I'm going to bring in a MIDI borderline screen. This screen is not meant to diagnose. It doesn't mean you have anything if you rate highly on this screen, but it sort of is a food for thought, let's just say, okay? So, gentlemen, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and let me read the disclaimer on the instrument itself. This is not a diagnostic tool, et cetera, et cetera.
But great disclaimer.
But can't believe it because they're saying you have to be seen by a medical professional and blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah. We got it.
Well, that's
all right. Okay, gentlemen. We're gonna wait. How come my name's not up there?
Oh, right.
Yeah. I need to be
we-
on a score. We're keeping a scoreboard, guys.
Because I feel like you
know.
already know the right answers to all these tests.
No. I'm going to answer them honestly. There's not a right or wrong answer.
Ooh, all right.
My relationships are very, and this has to be true now. And if you want to say that it had been true at some time in your life, please tell me. And that's relevant to me as I assess this thing.
Right. So, so if we have transitioned from one
If you
end
brought
of the
up, in
spectrum
other
to the
words.
other at some point. Okay.
My relationships are very intense, unstable, and alternate between the extremes of over-idealizing and undervaluing people who are important to me. True or false? Should we go right down the list?
Yeah, let's start with you, Drew.
I had a period of time where I could say that was definitely happening to me. I had some trauma in childhood, and that was creating some of this. It is definitely a negative, a false now. False. Okay.
Okay, up next, Enny.
Could you repeat the question?
Jenny, we got to keep him in the room,
sorry,
Nadav. You need like a little stun gun or something to keep him in his body. You know what I mean? He keeps dissociating every time I sit down at this table.
You got it, buddy. I'm going to buy a stun gun for the next show.
Hold on.
Just an easy one, not a taser. Just something to kind of keep you
Just
with
an
us.
easy one.
It'll be low voltage.
Yeah, just just a stick then to poke you. My relationships are very intense, unstable, alternate between the extremes of over-idealizing and undervaluing people important to me. So you go between idealizing and de-idealizing. Relationships don't last, they're unstable, that kind of thing.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, is that a maybe? Sometimes, or used to be, anything like that?
That's a yes for romantic relationships, but no in relationships in general.
So let's give that a yes. No, because that's where this stuff tends to emerge more.
Oh,
so let's give that a yes.
All right, so we got a true for Enny.
And for Nadav?
I want to say false.
Okay.
I don't really over-attach to anyone in my life.
False.
Are you sure we don't want to say true?
You're the one that gave me the only romantic relationships. But Zollo?
It's false for me too.
Okay, false for you. Okay. My emotions change very quickly, and I experience intense episodes of sadness, irritability, and anxiety or panic attacks. Always, never, sometimes.
You're first.
Me? Again, it was a used to be, and my adolescence had a lot of this stuff. And adolescents typically have a lot of borderline qualities to them. So I'm going to say never. It's N. It's really never anymore. So I used to have panic attacks when I was a kid. I'd get depressed really easy. I still tend towards depression, but I really don't. Never. N. So.
All right, I'm next.
Yeah.
I am a no. I feel
never.
pretty much nothing
Never.
ever. So yeah.
Good.
No.
Is that because you're away from your feelings, or just because you don't fluctuate?
Definitely because I'm away from those feelings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But are they underneath there somewhere?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if there are, I can't.
Okay, got it.
sense it.
Nadav?
And sorry, I'm doing a couple things at once. Can you repeat the question one more time?
My emotions change quickly. I experience sadness, irritability, anxiety, or panic. No intense episodes.
You sure we don't need a stun gun for him too? He just.
I know. What was he doing? You're welcome to pass it back and forth.
Producing. Yeah. I will say yes. I do fluctuate pretty quickly.
But sometimes or always?
I'd say sometimes.
Okay, that's an S there. And Zollo?
I think I could be a sometimes too.
Okay, all right. And Zollo, more age appropriate, right? Because that's sort of when this stuff happens a lot. You asked before the mics heated up, you were talking about anger. So here we go. We're going to get into some anger. My level of anger is often inappropriate, intense, and difficult to control. Always, never, sometimes. Never for me.
Never for me also.
Never for. Why did you ask about Nadav about anger if it's a never for Enny? And I'm imagining never for you too.
Just wait until you hear his answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes my anger gets away from me.
Oh, we're going to put that at a sometimes.
Yes. Huh? Is it sometimes or always?
Sometimes is good.
You fucking He's liar. He's lying. It's always.
Really?
It's always.
Wow. Well, because I've never experienced it. And what triggers it, Enny?
What triggers it?
Is it frustration or anger?
I'd actually love to know this too, because I don't think I know the answer.
Because I imagine you get frustrated really easily. I see that in you, but I don't see the anger or the hostility. You know, it's really hostility that borderlines have, not so much anger. But go ahead, Enny. When does it get triggered?
No.
I mean, when something's fucking with his money.
Yep.
Oh. Well.
If something has the potential to fuck with my money, then I very quickly try to neutralize that ability to fuck with my money.
Even if it's a person?
Yep.
And what does that mean?
Especially if it's a person.
I don't know. It's a very vague ideology that I have, but the second I even sense it, all of a sudden defenses go up, and I try and neutralize.
Is that in your family system anywhere?
I mean, I do have J blood in me, so possibly.
I don't mean that. I mean, just jumping right towards racism, and
that's anti-Semitism.
Anti-Semitism. I'm just saying. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Anti-Semitism?
No, racism. That's what anti-Semitism goes into the mix, of course. When I was in the bathroom, I was remembering earlier in the show. I said there was something in the bathroom that I wanted to remember, and Scott Adams or something said a thing that his friend had told him, an African-American friend of his, that the thing that made for him white people different and stand out is that they like cheese. And I thought, that is a really interesting observation, because white people, I mean, think of French and Italians, they don't consider all the people that can't eat cheese and get screwed up by it. Like, that wouldn't even enter their mind. The cheese is everywhere, and that's a white people food. So that's how subtle racism can be, right?
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, that is a white person food for sure. Yeah. Like, I went to
you don't like cheese?
Not like you like
people,
cheese.
and not only that, people with
how much do I like cheese?
You ordered the fucking charcuterie board or whatever when we went to that fucking the bar next.
If you have, feel fancy. It was a sometimes.
Dude, no.
I see.
No, if you have African descent, there's a good probability that cheese will make you sick. Nadav, that's not funny. Why is that funny?
No, because Enny caught me. No. I get it now. Yeah, sure. White people love cheese.
White people, well, at the very least, they don't consider that people with particularly of African descent and other parts of Spain and stuff too, have a problem with cheese. You know what I mean? It's like it hurts. They have lactose
digesting it. Got it.
They get sick, and so I thought that's how subtle racism can be. That's how it works. You got to pay attention, and then you also don't see yourself. You know what I mean? Look how weird it looks to somebody that can't stand or can't tolerate cheese. We have cheese carts. Yeah,
it was funny. I was at what was it? Crate and Barrel. That's that kind of somewhat fancy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember I was at Crate and Barrel. We were looking at all the kitchen stuff. We're like, this is dope. And then we saw this plate, this like long plate that had the inserts for fork, spoon, and knife. I'm like, the fuck is this? And it was like, there was the charcuterie board. I'm like, niggas in their cheese. What is up with this cheese shit? Fucking.
Right.
Why do they like cheese so much?
It really, and it's deep in France and Italy, right? And even in Greece too. It's like it's on in European nations, and that's the part. I'm very serious about this. I mean, it's funny, and I like that it's funny because it helps us all talk about this. But that's the part that when people talk about white supremacy and things like that, that's the part. You got to pay attention to what makes you different from somebody else, and pay attention to what their needs are versus yours. It's a pretty simple thing if we just keep our heads in the game.
Interesting.
So, am I wrong? Man. Anybody? Am I wrong?
No, well said.
Yeah,
well said.
Makes sense.
And so when people talk about white supremacy, they think skinheads and all this other stuff. No, get that out of your head. Just talk. I think maybe Eurocentrism or something is a better way to think about it. But we it's just about paying attention. That's it. Pay attention, everybody. That's it. Okay, so we're still going down the borderline pathway. We've gone Zollo. We get number.
We need an answer from Zollo.
Anger, always, sometimes, never.
Never.
Now or in the past, when upset, I've engaged in recurrent suicidal behaviors, gestures, threats, self-injurious behavior, cutting, burning, or hitting myself. So, have you? A simpler way to ask this question is: have you had a tendency towards self-harm? Me, no.
Me also, no. Never.
And Nadav, even when you're super angry and you can't get your way, even then,
hold on, is overeating self-harm?
Ooh, if it's done out of sort of attempts to hurt yourself to regulate your emotions.
Then no, it's normally associated with happy emotions.
Okay, that's not it. Yeah, but it's interesting, almost a sometimes. But we'll give everyone a no. Zollo.
I mean, I'll put sometimes for me. That's fine.
Okay, all right.
Never for me.
Never. I'm guessing when you get intensely, based on what this part of you I did not know until this today. But I'm guessing when you get intensely frustrated, you feel like just like banging your head against the wall, like literally doing something to yourself. Am I right?
You talking about me?
You.
Oh no! It's doing it to the person that's making me angry.
Well, if you couldn't, you wouldn't turn on yourself.
No. I've never.
Right. So give yourself a no. Give yourself a no.
Will do.
Let's see. I have a significant and persistently unstable image of myself or of who I am or what I truly believe in. Now, this is another key part of borderline. Now, when I was an adolescent, I had a lot of those symptoms. No, for the last 40 years, thank God. Never.
So I have a persistent image of who I am.
No,
as in like,
unstable image.
Oh, unstable.
Like who am I? What do I really want? Who am I in the world? This kind of stuff.
Oh God. Oh yeah. I'm a fucking always on that one.
Oh, you're always really. That's interesting. Yeah. Is that because you are not sort of? Are you doing the career you want to do?
Definitely.
You
definitely.
are.
Yeah, I'm in production.
Doesn't that give you? Look what Nadav wrote up there. What? Bad. He just wrote bad. But bad.
I'm trying to take good notes. It's not going well.
In other words, does your career give you a sense of identity?
Everything gives me a sense of identity. I mean, dude, the reason why my name is Enny. That's not my birth. I wasn't born with this name. I chose Enny because I was trying to figure out. There was a time when names meant something to me, and I was like, "What is my name? Oh, it just means my dad's name. That's lame. I want to choose my own name." And so I kept trying to figure out what I identify with, and I couldn't. Everything was like sometimes, here and then. I'm not really. That doesn't define me though. Like I could be whoever I want, and I couldn't settle on anything. So I chose Enny because I could be anything. I could be anybody. I could be.
Did you guys know this?
You know what I'm saying?
I did, yeah.
Oh, and why do you spell it the way you do?
Because ANY is 100% going to turn into Amy. So I'm like, let's not
smart.
Do that.
Smart. Do you see yourself as smart?
That's another difficult question. I mean, it goes with this same answer in that it's constantly changing. Sometimes, sure,
it's
mostly
not stable. All right, so we're gonna give you we're gonna give you an always. Nadav.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I struggle with imposter syndrome. Like, I've heavily struggled with imposter syndrome, I want to say, for the majority of my life.
But usually imposter syndrome, is it really imposter syndrome? Because imposter syndrome usually happens to people that have expertise. They really know that they don't know. You know what I mean? They know how big, vast a topic is, and they feel like, oh, not me. So would it be? I'm
also super self-deprecating. No.
Right.
Yeah, I have a whole lot of self-worth issues.
It sounds more like self-worth than self-identity.
Than self-image?
Yeah. So why don't you give it a sometimes?
Okay.
And Zollo?
I think it's a never for me, too.
Okay. I have very suspicious ideas and paranoid, falsely believe that others are plotting to harm me, or experience episodes under stress when I feel that I, other people, or the situation is somewhat unreal. Wait. Let me read this again. Suspicious, paranoid, experience episode, derealization. And for me, I used to have derealization, like Enny has, dissociation, derealization. I had that when I was an adolescent. I do not. It's a never now.
Yeah, it's always for me.
It's always, but do you get paranoid?
Yep.
Oh, do you? Do you? And how does that manifest?
In infinite ways.
Like, give me the latest.
I mean, can't give you the latest, but let's see I'm pretty convinced that when I go to Las Vegas, I don't know why I said Las Vegas, but whatever. When I go to Vegas to gamble, I know that when I walk into the door, you know how they have facial recognition systems? They know how much money you've made and who you are and everything.
Yeah.
So in my head, I feel like they're constantly also gauging my my mood and my how long I'm going to stay there.
So you feel like they've intruded into your thoughts further than probably they are.
Yes, and I do actions based on that. Like I'll sit at a table and in my head I'm like I'm gonna start pretending like I'm about to leave.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna make facial.
Isn't this the result of the fact that people are watching you? You know what I mean? Doesn't that really what you're uncomfortable with is people are watching you?
Well, I've had an unreasonable paranoia that people were watching me since before people were watching me. I always thought cameras were in my walls and bathrooms.
Okay, that's an always.
Yeah.
That's an always. Okay.
Yeah.
Nadav.
No, never really had that paranoia.
Zollo.
Never.
Okay. Engage in 2 or more self-damaging acts such as excessive spending, unsafe and inappropriate sexual contact or conduct, substance abuse, reckless driving, binge eating.
More than 2 in what?
Like recently. We'll give you recent, like in the last 6 months.
6 months.
How about 3 weeks?
How about today?
We give him an always. And me a never. Although I do a little bit of driving stuff. I noticed last night I was driving recklessly and I didn't even know it. It was weird.
You mean like you were going too fast?
I was going too fast. I in my head, I was just fine, but it was on a street where it was not fine. And a passerby sort of like noted, like, calm it down. I thought, oh shit, I wasn't even aware of that. So, for those of you who are crossing the street in Laguna last night, I thank you for that. So what do we got here, Nadav?
So this was the self-damaging acts over drinking, over eating, over all.
Sexual stuff, spending, driving,
past 6
eating.
months.
You got the binge eating.
Oh.
You got the binge eating, right?
I got a couple of other those stuff too.
Ooh,
yeah.
like what?
Gambling, spending.
Ooh, okay, we'll give that an always.
Fuck.
Yeah, always. And then Zollo.
Never.
Okay. I engage in frantic efforts to avoid.
Hold on. Let's backtrack a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Never.
What are you just lying in here? Is that what this is?
You're telling me you're an angel, Zollo? You got to be honest. That's how these work.
6 months, you ain't done 2 things bad for you?
Not to that extent. No, I don't overspend. I try to be very healthy and careful with everything
although we
I do.
think Chris is the baseline, I think Zollo may be the baseline.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? We'll get Chris later.
Well, what? I mean, what do you think I'm doing? That
Nothing.
I think you're lying.
Yeah.
No, I think
you're
what?
lying.
let me flip over the
So you
cards.
getting mad?
Let me flip over the cards on some of these things. Having some of these things is what make people interesting. So it's not always great to be a never all the way through. I engage in frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment by people who are close to me.
Engage in what?
Real frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. Preoccupation with abandonment. Abandonment.
So you're first on that one.
Oh, no, never.
Never for you.
Yeah.
Abandonment.
Yeah. Like you feel like like you sabotage relationships because you feel the chick's going to leave you. And then romantic relationships is where it really comes in.
With romantic relationships and with career, yeah. I mean, you can ask Nadav. Every week, I'm like, so am I fired today, or what's?
Oh,
interesting. When is this happening?
Interesting.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, fight or flight kicks in a lot for Enny.
Yeah.
Okay. I suffer from feelings of. Oh no, I'm sorry. We got to get through the list. Go ahead, Nadav.
Preoccupation with abandonment. I don't think so.
No, that's not your thing.
No.
And give Zollo a never.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay, this is actually an important one. I suffer from feelings of emptiness and boredom. Again, for me, just put emptiness because that's the key thing. Emptiness, longing, boredom, those kinds of feelings. Again, as a young adult, adolescent, majorly, but never now. Never.
I am, always.
Always.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Always bored.
Okay.
Always looking.
And he's always. Not
have
boredom,
more fun.
but empty. You feel emptiness. Forget the boredom. Wait.
Yeah.
Empty. Like empty on the inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah.
To me, it's the same. It's like if I'm fulfilled, it's because I'm having fun. I'm doing something. So I constantly feel unproductive, slow, bored.
And so when the emptiness, you can fill the emptiness. It just, if you're quiet and bored, you'll feel the emptiness. Is that accurate?
If I'm quiet and bored, that's correct.
Okay,
yeah.
but when you're active and doing things you enjoy and stuff, or engage in some of the self-harm,
then
the emptiness goes away.
Yeah, then I'm good.
Yeah, good.
So sometimes, or
let's give you a sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
Nadav.
Fine, I'll change the answer for you.
Nadav, emptiness and boredom.
No, I feel like I seek boredom. Like I like having nothing to do.
Okay, never. Zollo.
I'd say I'm the opposite of Nadav. I fear boredom, but I don't find myself being bored often.
Hold on, you guys
empty.
zeroed in on boredom. It's really the important thing on this one is the emptiness. When you are bored, let's put it this way: when you are bored and quiet, do you feel empty or longing for something to feel better?
A
little bit.
Productiveness. I feel like I need to be productive and do good things. Not empty.
That's restlessness, right? That's restlessness.
Maybe.
Okay, we'll give it a sometimes.
Okay.
And again, given you're how old now?
21.
Not surprising. Again, not surprising. I had shit tons of it in adolescence and young adulthood. My instinct, gentlemen, is for you to print this up and have me talk about it the next show. Is that too much, or shall I do my little eval now?
Ooh, I do love me a good cliffhanger.